Welcome to the WION podcast, where we explore fascinating stories and ideas from various fields. In this episode, we uncover why 7 sovereign nations operate without a single fighter jet, delving into geopolitical, economic, and strategic reasons that reshape conventional notions of national defense. In a world dominated by stealth fighters and cutting-edge jets, a surprising handful of nations operate without a single combat aircraft. From remote island states to neutral European countries, these 7 nations have chosen alternative paths to security, relying on alliances, treaties, and strategic geography. Their airspace remains unpatrolled by high-speed jets, yet their sovereignty and safety are maintained through careful planning and international cooperation. First, we'll be talking about Iceland, a country with no standing army or combat aircraft. NATO members routinely deploy fighters to Iceland on a rotational air policing basis, operating from Keflavik to safeguard civilian air traffic and national airspace when required. This model has persisted since the Cold War and remains the country's principal air defense arrangement. Next, let's look at Luxembourg, a European nation that prioritizes collective defense over owning fighter jets. Luxembourg maintains defense contributions through NATO, but does not field fighter jets. Policy emphasizes investment in capability sharing and niche capacities rather than an independent air combat force, leaving day-to-day air defense tasks to neighboring allies. Now, the third country is Ireland, a nation rooted in neutrality and modest air capabilities. Ireland's Air Corps operates transport, patrol aircraft, and helicopters, but has not maintained jet fighters for several decades. The government has long relied on arrangements with the United Kingdom and other partners for external air defense contingencies, while focusing its limited resources on maritime patrol, search and rescue, and internal security. Recent debate about acquiring interceptors does not alter the present absence of fighters. Moving ahead, Bhutan presents a unique case. Its defense relies on strategic treaties rather than fighter jets. Bhutan has no independent combat air arm. Its defense posture is closely coordinated with India, which supplies training, equipment, and an explicit security guarantee. Bhutan's terrain and policy choices have made a national fighter fleet neither practical nor necessary. Fifth, we have the Maldives, an island nation whose defense priorities lie at sea, not in the air. The Maldives operates a small air component oriented to patrol and transport. It lacks jet fighters and faces capability gaps, including pilot training for donated aircraft. Defense assistance from regional partners addresses infrastructure and patrol needs rather than creating a combat jet force. Next, Costa Rica, a country that made history by abolishing its army in 1949. Costa Rica abolished its standing army in 1949 and has preserved that decision in its constitution. Security is provided through police and international cooperation. There is no air combat capability and no domestic rationale for acquiring fighter jets. And finally, Panama, a country that redefined its defense posture after the 1989 US invasion. Panama dismantled its old defense forces after 1989 and since then has not operated a conventional combat air arm. Recent procurements have focused on light attack and patrol aircraft for the National Aeronaval Service rather than on fast jet squadrons, meaning Panama continues without a true fighter jet fleet. Thanks for tuning into this incredible story. If this episode resonated with you, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more captivating stories to come. Stay tuned.